Good morning, everyone. How's it going? I hope you all are well. It's another beautiful day, and we're here doing the Course in Miracles lessons. And the lesson for today is lesson 90. We will be reviewing lessons 79 and lesson 80. So let's get right into it. Okay. 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Let me realize today that the problem is always some form of grievance that I would cherish. Let me also understand that the solution is always a miracle with which I let the grievance be replaced. Today I would remember the simplicity of salvation by reinforcing the lesson that there is one problem and one solution. The problem is a grievance, the solution is a miracle. And I invite the solution to come to me through my forgiveness of the grievance and my welcome of the miracle that takes its place. Specific applications of this idea might be in these forms. This presents a problem to me which I would have resolved. The miracle behind this grievance will resolve it for me. The answer to this problem is the miracle that it conceals. That was lesson 79. Now lesson 80. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. I seem to have problems only because I am misusing time. I believe that the problem comes first and time must elapse before it can be worked out. I do not see the problem and the answer as simultaneous in their occurrence. That is because I do not yet realize that God has placed the answer together with the problem so that they cannot be separated by time. The Holy Spirit will teach me this if I will let Him, and I will understand it is impossible that I would have a problem which has not been solved already. These forms of the idea will be useful for specific applications. Okay, here we go. I need not wait for this to be resolved. The answer to this problem is already given me, if I will accept it. Time cannot separate this problem from its solution. Okay, so today we are going to dive a little bit deeper into each one of these again. And let's start with 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. So, what do we mean by recognize the problem? So what we have to do is basically understand that every problem that we come across in this world right now is an illusion. It's a figment of our imagination, let's say, something that we believe is a problem, only because we see it as a problem. When we shift our focus and let the miracle come forward, then we see that that problem disappears. So the problem and the miracle are there simultaneously. They're there together. So we just have to recognize what the problem is. And the problem is a grievance. It's something that you're holding, that you're imagining or believing is something wrong. Something someone did wrong to you, something that was done in injustice, or you find a problem with it, meaning that you're not okay with it. Something happened, something occurred, someone said, so you heard, all these different ways of problems that you believe are your problems. They have a solution, and the solution is to not see them as problems. And how do we not see them as a problem? We see them for what they really are, which is they're part of the illusion. They're not real. So the minute you are able to shift your focus, see the miracle, then you no longer see the problem. And that's the beauty of it, that it can be instantaneous. It can be simultaneous. The minute you focus on the problem, the minute you focus on, oh, this is a problem for me, the minute you realize that, because you have to realize it. Once you realize it, you could also realize simultaneously that, oh, I already have a solution. I just don't focus on it. I just don't believe it is a problem because it's just part of the illusion. It's part of something that is not real. And even though I feel it, even though I we're dealing with it in my thoughts. You could also deal with it differently in your thoughts. You can see the love in it. You can see the peace in it. You can see the lesson of shifting your focus from it being a problem to it being a miracle that you now see differently. You shifted the way you see it. You no longer see it the same way, and it's solved for you. So they have specific forms for us to use to help with this idea. This presents a problem to me which I have resolved. So when you get presented with a problem, you have a choice. You can focus on it and think of it as real, even though it's part of the illusion, or you can realize that it's part of the illusion and it's not real and it's already been solved just by you realizing that it's not real. Okay? The next one, the miracle behind this grievance will resolve it for me. And that's when you have that level of awareness that you know that the grievance is just an imagined or believed thing, then you have already solved it. The minute you have that level of awareness, then you realize that you have the solution, and the miracle behind it is the solution. So that's number 2. And another one is the answer to this problem is the miracle that it conceals. And that's, once again, we are reaffirming that every problem comes with a miracle, meaning every problem has an opportunity for you to see it differently, meaning the miracle. The miracle is for you to be able to see a problem differently. No longer see it as a problem, but as the illusion of a problem in your mind that you've created, that you've imagined, in order to give it power. So once you give it no power, then it loses all its strength that it has to control you, and you no longer are bound by it, by that grievance. You are now free to be at peace, to have love in your heart, and to see every person that you come in contact with as what they truly are, which is just love. Okay? Now the next one is, next lesson is lesson 80, and it's let me recognize my problems have been solved. So continuing on with what the first lesson we learned for today, 79, 80 is just a continuance of it and saying that let me recognize my problems have been solved. So all your problems have already been solved, and you all but have to let them disappear, all but realize that they're just part of the illusion and they're just not there. They're simultaneous with your solution. They're simultaneous in, you can immediately solve all of your problems just by shifting how you see them. And that's what this is basically telling you, and it's giving you the opportunity to look at it and say, you know, we right now currently think, oh, every problem will be solved with time. We'll have to do something to get it fixed. We'll have to just sometimes wait and it'll resolve itself. But the reality is that it's already been solved. The minute you focus on it differently, and the minute you shift your focus on how you're viewing it and now view it with the eyes of love, you realize that it's not there and it goes away and you're free. So the specific forms that they're giving us to help with this idea today is, I need not wait for this to be resolved. So that is to reaffirm to yourself that you have the solution with you at all times. To any of your problems, you have the solution. It's all you have to do is just realize that you do have the solution, and you know how to do it by just shifting your focus. Okay, the next one is the answer to this problem is already given to me if I will accept it. And that's the key. If I will accept it. Because that's what the problem is. That we don't want to accept it. We want to believe our problems are problems, and we hold them dear to us, and we believe in them so wholeheartedly that it becomes something that we're that we have to struggle with because we don't want to let them go. We don't want to see them differently. We want to see them for what they are. However difficult they may be, we want to put our focus on them and dwell on them, and then we feel unhappy, we feel sad, sometimes we feel angry. All different levels of emotions come because we are unwilling to see the problems differently. We want to see them like we want to see them. But if we allow and shift our focus and let the miracle happen, that we are now see them differently, then we free ourselves and we are no longer holding those emotions of negativity, anger, upsetness, sadness. All those emotions go away the minute we shift our focus and see it differently, see it through the eyes of love. All we see is love, and then all we feel is love, and all we feel is peace and happiness. Another form is this cannot separate this problem from its solution. Sorry, let me repeat that. I read it wrong. Time cannot separate this problem from its solution. So that is, once again, they're reminding us that time plays no factor in the solution of our problems. We don't need to wait. We don't need to let time pass. All we have to do is shift our focus and realize that the problem is not real. The problem is just an illusion. And if we keep giving it power, then it has power. The minute we take away its power, it loses its power and we are free. So that's something we have to work on, all of us, myself included, because I see problems all the time and I allow them to have power. And all I have to do is remember that they have no power and shift my focus and realize that I am always connected to God. I am always have love available to me at any given moment of the day. And when I do that, then I feel at peace, I feel happy, and you can do the same. So join me in doing these lessons today. And remember, there's still practice periods. All the reviews were the same, 15 minutes on each of the ideas of the day, and then as many times as necessary that you would like, focus on the ideas as well throughout the day. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.